Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to beautiful, sunny Denmark. I'm Josie Ashley, and sitting with me here in the studio is Gemma Hermione. Good morning, Gemma.
Good morning, Joe. How you doing? Well, here we are. We're back for another day. This is day 4 of the competition here in Denmark. Unfortunately, once again, as you can see, the wind is light. It's kind of not blowing from the correct direction that we need it to be here. But the weather is beautiful, sunny, and we're having a really amazing time. And the forecast is looking better towards the end of the week, so we have our fingers crossed and we're ready for some good conditions, right?
Absolutely, and actually we were looking at the forecast this morning. It's gone from white to blue to even a little bit of green. We're getting very excited over the 12 to 14 knot little looking there on the Wingaroo, so hopefully we'll be able to get some wind. This location we've seen from the riders from last week. There's really nice waves. It's that cross onshore northwesterly predominant wind down here on the South Pier, and hopefully we'll be able to get this event on a roll. But yeah, as you said, Gemma, conditions at the moment aren't there, but we've been keeping ourselves busy. We've been getting some stuff for you so you guys can be entertained here on the live, and we actually have been doing some tech talk. So we've grabbed some of the riders from different brands to talk about what they have in their ball bag. You'll be very surprised. And starting off with a roll, we have Reece Myerscough for Ocean Rodeo coming all the way from Canada.
Are we rolling? Okay. Hey, it's Reece, and in my board bag I've got an entire quiver of boards for different purposes, different conditions, different wind speeds, and I've got a couple of pretty cool prototype kites made out of Alula. I've got kind of 3 or 4 different board shapes that I go to for depending on the conditions, really, depending on whether I'm in the surf, whether I'm doing freestyle. So I'll just jump right into it with this guy, because this was the original one here. This board is called the Jester, and it's got a really flat rocker line to it, so it's really fast. It's really good in like flat water. It's really good in like medium-sized chop, and I really like this guy for freestyle in like lighter winds. So light to medium winds, I go to freestyle with this. All right, so on to the next one. One thing you'll notice about my boards is that they all look pretty much the same at first glance, although they are quite different actually. But the goal of it is that I'm able to easily hop between boards without having to adjust how I'm riding too much. So if I want to go from the Jester for freestyle onto this board, which is mainly what I'm using in the surf right now, it's called the Creep, I don't have to adjust my riding style. It doesn't take long to hop from one board to the next. The goal is to have consistency between the shapes and cover a large range of conditions. So this board here is the Creep, and I originally designed this board as a board that was to be used in like heats where you're doing freestyle and waves in the same heat. So for basically silt. This is what I rode in silt because we were in the surf and we were doing freestyle in the same heat, and that way I don't have to go in and change boards. And so it's got a very fast, flat tail rocker, and then up on the nose, there's a lot of nose rocker for in the surf. So it's got like a really fast tail for freestyle, and then a lot of nose rocker so you don't dig the nose in the surf. All right, so this one, again, I don't even have a name for this one yet, but so the Creep kind of evolved from the Jester, and now I'm taking the Creep and I'm evolving it back towards the Jester for more of a freestyle board for higher winds, which is the goal of this one here. And this is actually the second board that I've made on my surfboard shaping machine, which I built over the last year during COVID. So it's a little bit rough, but I think it'll be good enough to test out the shape. And the goal of this one is to kind of take the rail shapes of the Creep, which are very rounded and they like to grip to the water, and put those into a freestyle board so I can really load it up a lot before I pop. Because I find with a really sharp rail, when you're really powered up, it's really hard to hold that in because it's trying to release the water. So I put a nice round rail on this thing. I took the rocker from the Creep and I flattened it out a little bit, but I kept a lot of nose flip in this board for landing really fast in really choppy conditions so you don't nosedive. And that's about it. So there you go, 3 boards for 3 different purposes. I've got a kind of light wind freestyle board, I've got a wave board for like mixed conditions, and then I've got a high wind freestyle board, or I'm hoping what will be a high wind freestyle board, but this is just the first version of it. So yeah, and then obviously I've got pure wave boards at home that I'm working on too, but I didn't bring those here because I don't need them. So yeah, when I travel to an event, I usually bring 7 or 8 different kites with me, sometimes up to 10, but it basically depends where I'm going. For here in Europe, for Silt and Vita Sanda, I brought a quiver of, I think I brought a 7 meter, 8 meter, 9 meter, 10 meter, and a 12 meter crave, which is kind of like my wave kite slash freestyle all-rounder. I basically use it all the time. And then I also brought a couple of prototype Alula kites, like this is the Rise behind me, which is a big air kite that Ocean Rodeo's been working on for the past couple years. And it's just like a full Alula jumping machine, which I've actually started to really like for freestyle as well. And then I also brought a 14 meter Alula flight just in case there's no wind, because I can ride in basically nothing with that. So 8 to 10 kites. So yeah, I'm Reece Myerscough again, and that's kind of what I've got going on my quiver right now. A little breakdown. I hope you enjoyed it.
All right, guys, so that was Joe yesterday having a little chat with Reece from Ocean Rodeo about all his tech talk, what he has in his bag. And up next, we have the chat you did with the lovely Camille Delannoy. Tell us a little bit how that went.
Yeah, I mean, Camille, he's, we've seen one of the best strapless freestylers out there. Really knows his kit inside and out. But hey, the top guys and girls, they got to have the little magic sticks, as he was saying, those little magical boards. Yeah, Camille, very, very into his kite sizes. He says the 10 meter, he always travels with 2 10 meters just in case. So he obviously really likes that size. And yeah, it was really good to catch up with him. Always, big kiting family, really nice guys, really cool on and off the water. Definitely one of the biggest ambassadors we have for the sport, and really cool to catch up to him. So yeah, now we're going to be moving over to the North Tech Talk with Camille Delannoy.
Can you go? Hi, I'm Camille Delannoy, and this is my board bag. So in my board bags, I usually have, I would say, between 5 and 7 boards when I go to a competition, and around 6 kites, couple of bars, harness, wetsuit. I think the most important part of my board bag is the boards. All my boards are pretty different from each other. I got boards for wave, for freestyle, for mix. I got bigger boards, smaller boards, really depending on the conditions. And in terms of kite, well, I have every sizes from 7 to 12 because you never know what can happen. So yeah, that's my board. That's the board I'm riding most of the time, those 3. Well, they all look pretty similar, but they're all actually pretty different. So this one is the one I used in Zilt, and the one I would use for like a mix, competition mix for both wave and freestyle. So this is a comp prototype. I'm not sure about the construction of this one. This one is not carbon, so it makes it a bit more flexible. So it works for both wave and freestyle, and the board is really light. The volume is low and the board is really light, so it's a good board for light wind also. So that's the first one. So that's the 5.0 with, that's another prototype with a different construction. That's the board I will use for 100% wave event. The board is very light, very low volume. So yeah, it's perfect for strapless freestyle conditions. And so this one looks pretty similar, but it's actually a bit smaller. So this one is a 5.0 and that one is a 4.10. It's the same construction, and that would be for flat water with strong wind. So that's a short board, and it makes it like a really good board. So yeah, for strong wind and for big air, I think. Yeah, I think for freestyle that's also one of my go-to boards. And yeah, I don't have all of my boards here. I have also like a couple of wave boards, but yeah, didn't bring it here. I don't really need it. So in my board bag, well, I have obviously the the navigator bar. I don't know, I travel usually with like 4 or 5 bars, so I can set up different kites on the beach for the competitions, and all my kites are ready to go just before my hit. So I would got 4 or 5 bars, and then, well, obviously a harness, the Mystic Majestic. Yeah, my favorite harness, pretty much. So yeah, that's what I got. So the carve is, well, it's a kite I use 100% of the time. I only ride carves, obviously in different sizes, but I would say that 90% of the time I would go for the 10 meters. That's my favorite size, and it works from 15 to 30 knots. So yeah, it's good. It's good for loops, it's good for waves, it's good for pretty much everything, and I'm really used to this size. So yeah, I don't really like changing, and the 10 meter is really my go-to kite, and the kite I use, yeah, 90% of the time. I actually bring 2 10 meters, in case yeah, something happens. So my full range of kites, well, I got pretty much everything from 7 to 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So from 7 to 9, I use it most of the time for wave riding. I don't need like a kite that is as big or like really strong wind for freestyle. And then 10, 11, 12, mostly for freestyle or really light wind. But yeah, most of the time the 10 meters, sometimes the 11. I'm Camille Delannoy, and that was my board bag.
So that was a great chat you had yesterday with Camille, and like we said before, it's such a nice family, always together, such a nice vibe, and it's always great to have them around, great to have them at events, right, Joe? We're still sitting here, guys, to give you a little update on the wind. It's a light breeze blowing. It's not in the right not in the right direction, unfortunately. We're seeing these cute little waves coming in, and we're just getting a glimpse that when this spot works, it is really epic. And like I said, I arrived a few days early to this event, and I was lucky enough to see it working well, and we can see why it's so well known and why it's such a popular location. So just to give you guys an idea of what's going on while we're here. But instead, we're going to move on to the second chat you had yesterday, which was with the lovely Catharina. Joe, how did it go? What were you guys talking about yesterday in the bag?
Yeah, it was really cool to catch up with Catharina. She's one of our veterans on tour. She's been around and had that really very beautiful video or movie with Jalou Langery, 118 Feet of Freedom, where they just showed a trip around when they went through Madagascar. There was there with our photographer, Idva van Deersen, which big shout out to him. We miss you, buddy. And then also Mintagas, our videographer, did all the filming. Such a beautiful location on a boat, off the boat. You guys, if you haven't seen it, tune in now, because you got to check that out. And yeah, Catharina, riding for FLYSURFER, very talented young lady. She's more in the waves than she is in the freestyle. Really nice style. And yeah, it was cool to catch up with her again, getting the community back together. Nice to be on site at events one more time, Gemma. And yeah, so we are going to be moving over to the tech talk for FLYSURFER with Catharina Edin.
Hi, my name is Catharina Edin, and this is my board bag. So what I have in my board bag for this event is right now I pumped up a 9-meter Stoke from FLYSURFER. That's my kite that I usually ride for strapless freestyle and for wave riding. And in my bag here is a Boost 11-meter. And that's my freestyle kite that I've been using recently. It gives a good lift, so I need it in this light wind as well. And yeah, here is my boards I brought with me. They look very similar, but they are also very different. So I have my surfboards are from Apple Tree, and both of them are 5'1". And the left one is a Molus Domestica, and I use it for strapless freestyle and small waves. And this is the Clockhouse Noseless, and I use it for small waves. So the Clockhouse is a board that I've been having actually for quite some time, but I haven't been riding it that much. But it's a great board for small and medium waves. And it gives a really good overall feeling. It's a little bit thicker and a little bit more heavier than my freestyle board, but it's like very smooth and very stable in the water. So even when the waves are very bumpy, it gives a smooth feeling and really is easy to maneuver. So the one on the left-hand side is the Mollis Domestica, and this is the board that I've been riding 95% of the time because I live in Holland and the waves are pretty small. This is the board that I use the most, and usually it works really well to mix with strapless freestyle as well. And often I don't only go riding waves over there, I mix my sessions as well. So this one is a little bit thinner in the rail and easy to grab as well, and that makes a big difference. So yeah, I really like it. So when I go into events, like for example Germany and Denmark, the last events that we had here, I've been able to drive from Holland, where I'm based. So I had the opportunity to bring all sizes and all different kind of kites and boards. So I've been having a pretty wide quiver with me here, everything from a 5 meter to 12, and also 2 like bigger kites that I use for strapless freestyle. But usually if I have to fly somewhere for an event, then I check the forecast and know more or less, but you never know, so I'm trying to fit all sizes. My name is Catharina, and this was my board bag.
Okay guys, well that was our chat with the lovely Catharina, and that's it for today with our In the Bag series, our technical talks discussing what riders are bringing to each event, just to give you guys a little bit of insight into what they need, what they use, what their favorite products are. And tomorrow we're going to be back with more tech talks, more In the Bag series with a different group of riders. For now, Joe, we're going to go on hold. We're going to continue waiting here at the beach to see if the wind conditions improve. You can find all the updates on our live ticker, which will be activated throughout the day. And you can also follow our social media updates, where we'll be posting stories all day long to keep you guys informed. Joe, are you ready for a bit of a wait today on the beach?
Well, you know what they say, patience is a virtue, and it is a big virtue throughout this event. Hopefully, like we've seen, with the forecast looking good for Saturday, there's at least a little green, there's a little light at the end of the tunnel, so hopefully the old Earler will start pumping through and we'll get a breeze. But hey, if you have not seen this location yet, check out this small promo video that we have here of the beautiful location of Vidar, and we will see you very soon. We will be going live one more time here with Gemma Hermione if the action hits the water. Welcome to Denmark, everybody, for the second event of the season here in Vidar. A small fisherman town off the west coast of Denmark, named after its beautiful, endless white sandy beaches that come alive as soon as the predominant northwesterly winds hit its shores. With a flatwater lagoon on one side and waves on the other, it truly is one of the most complete water sports locations in Northern Europe.